planet, not only in the Muslim society, was to cover women in Victorian England. Here, if a woman walked with her head uncovered, she was considered a loose woman. Okay, if a woman, how women dress today, normally, if they were to walk in this place, right at this spot in 1850s or 1870s or even 1900, they would be considered abnormal, right? Why are these new things coming up? Because things have changed, culture has changed, trends have changed, so now we need new rulings. Okay, let me finish this point very quickly. I had a dialogue with one of his close associates called Dr. Khalid Mahmood. You know Dr. Khalid Mahmood?
I know.
Khalid Zahir, you know him. In Lahore, I had a dialogue with him on these issues. And it was a very friendly, respectful dialogue. He was there. People asked about hijab. Khalid Zahir. Sorry?
It was just with his...
No, Gandhi Sahib was not there. I spoke to Dr. Khalid Zahir in Lahore. Okay? So he has his view of hijab, which is very similar to Gandhi Sahib's view.
Can I just say something here?
Yeah.
You see, here he's not actually appealing to any of the stuff like the modern changes and like the modern circumstances. He actually is basing his sort of ruling in the Islamic tradition. His explanations are completely,
I'll tell you something about this.
So here, someone like me who's not aware of the Premier League, as you call it, yeah. So I'm always going to look at that. I'm going to think, okay, so he's not actually, influenced by modernity, or he's not trying to be, or he's not trying to deceive people into that.
Okay, let me explain.
So that's why I need to, yeah.
What he does, he picks and chooses from the classical tradition.
Are you saying he's being selective?
100%. Anyone who has studied the classical tradition in depth, you will know that he is picking and choosing from Shadh, what we call Shadh opinions. Shadh means strange. Strange opinions. In the past, if you pick up the books of fiqh, there are so many strange opinions of scholars in a classical tradition that if he was to compile a compendium today of strange opinions, Zahiri school of thought. No, wait, let me explain something. Zahiri school of thought, there's a hadith of the Prophet ﷺ that when you get married to a woman, look at her before you get married. See what you're getting, right? The Zahiri school, some of their scholars actually believe that you can have a look at a woman having a bath. When the wait, it's a strange opinion. Why? No, I'm going to ask you a question now. If I was to 2 centuries down the line, when things have changed drastically, when people are probably walking around naked now, because it's getting less and less. Clothing is getting less and less by the day. I can see in 20 years from now, you might have women and men walking around naked, nude, completely nude. Some liberals come along in the next 30 years and say, hold on a second, we're liberals, allow us to walk around as we want. And lo and behold, before you know, people are walking around naked, what we call, people when they're born, naked like that.
I get the idea.
Yeah, okay. Now, at that time, some Muslim scholars might come, hold on a second, things have changed, people are walking around naked. Someone wants to get married, he wants to look at a woman, and now he wants to see the size of a butt, the size of her thighs, the size of her breast, and he wants to see, I don't want to get into, people have different fantasies, some people are crazy, they like certain things in their women, so a guy comes along, hold on, the Zahiri scholar, such and such person in the 3rd century, in his books of fiqh, he said, therefore we have a precedent, okay, we can follow that. Would you accept that? Thank you. Likewise, we do not accept these new solutions taken selectively from our books of fiqh in the past. Our scholars declared them to be shadh. These are strange opinions. We don't follow them. Anyone who comes up with something strange, we don't follow it. Because someone can have a completely erroneous understanding of our text. So today, if someone comes along and says, you know what, there is a precedent in the books of fiqh. There was a faqih or there was a mufti, or there was a muhaddis. He said such and such in the 3rd century, 4th, 5th century, in such and such book. So there is a precedent. Why don't we do it today? We don't do it because the rest of them, 99% of them, rejected it. So we go with the majority of the ulama, reputable ulama, who knew the Arabic language, who knew Islamic tradition inside out. They knew pre-Islamic poetry, and they knew the Arabic language better than Ghamdi Sahib, right? Because he's an Arabist. I know he's an Arabist. Okay, he's a linguist. Okay, so for that reason, we don't accept that reason. Coming back to the issue of hijab, and even today, by reasoning, without using hadith, we can justify our classical traditions. An example I was going to give you about the discussion I had with Dr. Khalid Zahir. The issue of hijab came up. Some students there in Lahore in this university, they said hijab. Khalid Saab has one opinion, you have another opinion. My opinion is the classical opinion that this is how you wear hijab. You cover your body except your face. Okay, that's fine. I believe that your face can be visible, the rest of your body has to be covered for a woman. Okay. So I said to them, hold on a second. Let's not go to Mr. Khalid and me. Let's forget Ghamdi Sahib. Let's forget everyone else. Let's do it, or let's understand the issue by our own research today, right? Because Ghamdi Sahib has no issue with Shalwar Kameez, right? And Dupatta.
Actually,
Forgive me, bro.
he thinks it's Pakistani Tehzeeb, you know that.
Yeah. Which Shalwar Kameez and Dupatta? Yeah? Okay.
So in the covering of the hair, he's not saying women should not do it. He's saying there's a bit special because he doesn't agree with some of some of the verses in the Quran are interpreted, where
interpreted by 99% of our classical scholars, yeah?
Okay, so you're saying because of the scholarly consensus, and
we don't need Ghamdi Sahib.
And the Premier League, we'll see here. Okay.
Yeah, okay. So now we come in. So I asked those guys, go online and do a search on men searching women online. Okay, what are men searching for in women online? Because you have ways to dig out statistics even on Google. How do we know that most searches on Google are porn? How do we know that? By statistics. We know people are Googling porn all over the world, right? Likewise, when you narrow it down, there are certain bits they are looking for. When men are searching online for women, they are looking for certain parts of a woman's body. You will not see them searching for the toe, or the heel, or the knee. You will not. There are perverts out there. But I'm talking about the overwhelming majority. They are looking for certain bits. And amazingly, by Allah, when you look at the Quran, subhanallah, it seals the matter. Women cover your beauty. What is beauty now? By statistics we know, something that stimulates men. The beauty in women is something that generally, not exceptions again, generally stimulates men. That stimulates them to look at women. If there's a woman with beautiful body, she's likely to catch everyone's eye, right? Allah is telling us in the Quran, cover those parts, because they're the ones they are looking for. Allah is not telling us cover your knee, cover your toe, cover your hands. Allah says cover all women, believing women, cover your beauty. No, wait. Okay, yeah. So we don't need Khalid Saab and me. Now that said, a social experiment was done in the US. A woman, she was walked around in hijab and jilbab, and she hardly got any remarks from men walking past, because they knew she's not the type, right? She's a religious type, or she's more conservative, so hardly any remarks. Same woman, they took off the hijab and the jilbab. She walked through the streets of New York, a liberal society, every single man who walked past either looked at her twice, looked back, or whistled or said something, So this seals the matter. Okay, we don't need Ghamdi Sahib to tell us it's okay to show your hair a little bit, or you can wear Shalwar Kameez. No, it's going against the social consensus. But we don't need the social consensus, by the way. I'm only saying this because this is even that shows us that Islamic rulings are reasonable. Islamic ruling, what Allah tells us in the Quran is reasonable. It's for the protection of women. And Allah tells men, not women, to lower your gaze. Okay? First, men are told, first, they lower your gaze, because it is men. Amazingly, how does a man sitting in the middle of the Arabian desert, the men are visual. Most men are visual. You know, when they look at something, yeah.
Here, brother, I think you're preaching to the converted because we already agree with that. That a man in that time wouldn't have been. My hair, you see, when you come to cover your beauty, you know, here, he doesn't interpret like when you said.
Yeah, that's fine. As I said, his interpretation is problematic because it leans towards modernism. It's trying to appease the modernists or the liberals in Pakistan. Yeah.